Are you getting ready to get organized for the new year? Watch this first. Hey guys, I'm Dani, mom of 4 and messy home expert. Welcome back to my channel where I share tips for a clean and organized home. In today's tidy topic, we're going to be talking about containers because I know that we are approaching a brand new year and many of you probably have a few projects on your to-do list that you are dying to get organized. But I want to make sure that I help you do that in the most efficient and affordable way possible. Because a lot of people make the mistake believing that before you begin a new project, you have to spend hundreds of dollars on containers. But it is possible for you to organize a space without containers. Containers have one sole purpose, and that is to assign. A lot of people believe that containers are supposed to add to the aesthetic of your home, and if they're used improperly, then all they're really going to do is create more clutter and take up unnecessary space, which is the opposite result of what organizing should do for your space, for your mental health, for your family. But really, when you're using containers to assign a home to a specific category, that is what's going to help you get and stay organized. Yes, as I mentioned earlier, it is totally possible to organize a space without needing containers if you're disciplined enough. I'm the type of person that when I sit down to eat my food, I don't like my food to touch. So when I'm organizing a space and I don't use containers, then I'm organizing those things in a way that they don't touch each other, because the minute they begin touching, that's when the messiness happens. That's when the confusion happens. That's where containers come into play, and that's where they can be super helpful. When you place those items inside of a container, it creates a little home. It essentially acts as a divider. So it makes it that much easier to make sure those categories don't intermingle and those items don't touch each other. Another reason you may want to use containers to organize many, if not all, the spaces in your home is if you live with household members who are not as disciplined in their organization as you. My husband doesn't have the eye to organize like I do. So sometimes me bringing in containers in the home that are labeled will help him know where items should go. Whereas me, I don't need to be told where items to go because I have created a system and I can visually see. Much like when you go to the grocery store, items on shelves are not always in containers. You can clearly see the invisible line between the Pop-Tarts and the oatmeal. That invisible line is there for a reason. There doesn't have to be any actual separation. You can see where the Pop-Tarts end and the oatmeal, the pancakes, and the cereal begins. But maybe in your home, not everyone can see that invisible line. Not everyone has that eye to understand that this is where the bread ends and this is where the chips begin. And sometimes the chips end up being mixed over here with the bread and they have no business mingling with each other. And that's where containers will come in handy, because containers not necessarily are always for you. Sometimes it's to help the other members in your household understand where things should belong within a space. Now, an example of when you don't need containers is when you are assigning a specific space just for very specific items. For example, in my island, I have 2 drawers. One drawer is a junk drawer, and you will clearly see in this drawer that I have containers for different items because, again, without these containers, all these items will touch, causing clutter, which will make it harder for me to find what I need. But in the second drawer, I had dedicated this drawer just for foil, for plastic wrap, and for sandwich baggies. I don't need to take these items and contain them because this drawer essentially is the containment. It serves as the container itself. So make sure before you go out and buy containers that you evaluate the space and evaluate where you're going to be placing items, because some items may not need to live inside of containers and some items will do just fine inside of containers. Another great purpose for containers that I absolutely love is being able to see how much of something you have. So on my countertops right now, I have 3 jar containers for sugar, for flour, for pancakes. These are the ingredients that I am in and out of almost every single day. And it is so helpful to visually be able to quickly see how much of these ingredients I have on hand, because if I kept them inside of a box, then it would become a guessing game. I wouldn't know how much pancake mix I have. Just being able to visually see quickly how much I have on hand makes it easier for me to get food on the table faster. That is my absolute favorite way to use containers, is to see how much of something that I have. And then of course it does add a nice aesthetic to my kitchen too. So I hope that this video was helpful, and if you enjoyed it, please give it a big thumbs up. And if you have any questions, feel free to chat with me over on my Instagram or in the comment section below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.